Last planner in construction, constraints versus roadblocks. Make ready, done right. Okay, so I'm gonna get really into a topic here that is very important for us from a scientific and mathematical standpoint, but could be a little annoying. And I want you to know it's annoying to me. Let me tell you why. I wish I could just call everything a constraint. Let me tell you just a little story. In the book writing process, what I'll do with ChatGPT 5.2, I think, I will draft a chapter. I will add in a podcast transcript, the YouTube transcript, and other content that I've made before, like blog posts. So I'll write the chapter and add a lot more content. And I'll say, hey, ChatGPT, will you please help me draft it in my voice? And then typically what we do to make it more human. So actually my AI process is probably more me and more human than if I didn't use AI. Then we review that chapter with industry experts and their stories and comments come in. But if you've ever written or been an author, I'm not saying I'm a good one, but I have done a lot of books. It's very hard to loop in other stories and other opinions. So I say, ChatGPT, please take the original chapter, plus this reference material, plus my commentary, plus the review comments, and loop it into one. Literally, it does such a good job, and it doesn't hallucinate because it's trained. Training AI is just like training an intern, in my opinion. These chapters are so good, I get a little weepy at the end. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a good... And Kate's like, are you reading your own books again? Like, it's so silly. I'm like, this guy really gets me. I like this guy. It's my own stuff. It's super pathetic. The reason I'm telling you the story, sometimes AI will say, remove constraints. And I'm like, dang it, I can't get AI to stop saying remove constraints instead of adjust constraints, because constraints are permanent or semi-permanent. Roadblocks are removable temporary things. And I'm like, I'm so annoyed. And it's as hard to get AI trained as it is humans. People will not get off of it because it's hard to think about the difference between constraints and roadblocks. And I get it and I have sympathy for it. But if we don't separate them, we're going to be in big trouble. I'm going to tell you why. There's a big difference between constraints and roadblocks. The analogy is in Last Planner and Takt, which is what Last Planner should be tied to. If I said, if you had a 40,000 square foot floor or 60,000 or whatever floats your boat, would we build that whole thing all at once like a Southwest Airlines boarding process, or would we break this up into zones and basically make sure that we had bite-sized chunks, leveled by work density, not by area? You'd be like, yeah, Jason, that's how construction works. Okay. Let's say this is the direction we're going, which is a constraint. And I said, okay, here's trade partner number 1, trade partner number 2, trade partner number 3, and trade partner number 4. If I said, hey, this train of trades trying to go the same speed, the same distance apart is gonna move through here zone to zone to zone to zone and then off to their next phase or project. Would you say that's correct? You'd be like, of course, Jason, that's exactly right. We won't just pile them all in there and trade stack. We're gonna run them through there like a train of trades. Okay, that's Takt planning. This is probably the clearest I've ever been. These zones on a Takt plan are listed on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. And these wagons become what's in the middle. I'll show you in a minute. And your time is on the top. And so when we see these wagons, like let's say this is 1 and it's running through here, and this is wagon number 2 or task number 2. So they can be individual tasks in multi-train Takt planning, or they can be wagons, which is in single train Takt planning. And you have these 4. I don't want to take up too much of your time doing sketches, but I'll just lock these in. When you see this diagonal flow and this beautiful parallelogram, all you're seeing is this train of trades running through zones, but in the paper format, these are your zones, and all you're seeing is where this wagon is, let's say 1, as it goes through here, in time. And the reason you have a diagonal pattern is because you're seeing the intersection of time and space. That's all a Takt plan is. If you believe in zones and if you believe in trains of trades, you believe in Takt planning. And this is the system to base everything off of for your Last Planner system, for your lean system. Now let me talk about 2 things. Constraints, and I'll just go ahead and do this right here. I'll just do this with a big C. Deal with your train of trades and your train tracks, which are your zones. And when you think about a constraint, you're talking about packaging, you're talking about takt time, you're talking about, let's say, permanent fixtures. Let's say that there's a building over here, and that's why you have to start from left to right, because you have to work your way out, right? I didn't get that sketch. I can do perspective a lot better than that, I'm sorry. But like this is a constraint. This is a fixed thing. Your packaging is a fixed thing. Your takt time is a fixed thing. You can adjust them, but you're not getting rid of takt time. You're not getting rid of packaging, and you're not getting rid of this building that's constraining the site. Constraints deal with the system, the train of trades, or the train tracks. A roadblock is something in the way. Let's say that a trade lovingly and accidentally put a bunk of plywood in the way. That's a roadblock. Let's say that there isn't layout in this zone. That's a roadblock. These are temporary removable things. And here's why this matters, and I'm almost done. I'm talking everywhere. If you loop roadblocks and constraints together, two things happen. Number one, the list gets so big that you overwhelm the last planner system. And two, you don't properly deal with these at the right time in the first planner system, which means that we chuck over the wall to trade partners things that should have been designed properly from the beginning. And if we don't understand constraints, we will not know how to fix this versus this, and we will not know how to program our scheduling softwares to track this versus this, and we won't know what's permanent versus temporary, permanent, temporary, and we won't be able to focus the trade partners on what they should be focused on, temporary roadblocks, and we will not give the language to first planners so they know how to design the system for the trade partners. There are like 50 unintended negative consequences if we don't separate these terms. A constraint is a permanent or semi-permanent aspect of the system design and things that you have to deal with that are not going away but can be optimized, and roadblocks are things we just need to get rid of. And if you separate it, it opens up a whole world of lean. The reason we call everything constraints is because we all read The Theory of Constraints by Eliyahu Goldratt, and we're like, oh, it's all constraints. But he was talking about line manufacturing and production pods and high mix, low volume, where the product is flowing through the manufacturing line. And so there isn't anything in the way of the manufacturing line, it's just all whatever your constraints or bottlenecks are. But when we know that the train of trades, so in manufacturing, the stations are fixed and the product flows. All you have is constraints. In construction, the product stays stationary and the trades move. So now you have another component. You have constraints in the system and things that can be in the way of the system. You have two things. You have constraints and roadblocks. This is an improvement to the last planner system that is crucial. We will not program software. We will not program AI. We will not advance. We will not create the proper system. We will not focus. We will not lead the team properly. And we will not have the right people doing the right things if we do not separate these terms. Knowing how to do this is in the book Takt, Steering, and Control. Knowing why we need it is in the book called The 10 Improvements to the Last Planner System. We'll give you graphics, problem-solving charts, and the links to those books, and a blog post summarizing this in the description below. But I hope you've loved this video. On we go.